All right, let's talk about chefs. You're in the kitchen, dinner rush is on,
Oh, yeah.
you're juggling a million things at once, hot, stressful, on your feet constantly.
hmm
It's basically a workout already.
Yeah.
But what if we could turn up the fitness game even more? Like while you're actually in the kitchen.
Interesting.
That's what we're looking at today. How chefs can use their work environment to their fitness advantage.
I like it.
We've got three sources to help us out here. One's about chef-specific exercises. Another is about fitting workouts into your cooking routine.
Okay.
And the last one dives deep into how being physically fit actually helps you be a better chef.
All connected.
Yeah. So this first article, Chef Exercises You Can Do at Work, is all about finding those little moments during your shift to build strength,
Yeah.
flexibility, all that.
I mean, think about it. Chefs are on their feet all day.
Right. It's like they're running a marathon in a hot box.
And the first thing this article emphasizes is good shoes. So important.
I was reading an interview with this famous chef, and he said good shoes were like as crucial as good knives.
Oh, totally.
He said it was the best investment he ever made for his career.
It's an investment in your health, right? Prevents foot pain, knee problems, all that stuff you get from standing all day.
Totally. And they even have this stretch you can do right there on the line, the standing quad stretch.
Oh, nice.
Simple, but it works wonders, especially for those tight hips and quads from all that, well, standing.
It's actually a great example of something called functional fitness, exercises that are like the moves you do every day.
Makes sense.
So you build strength where it matters most.
So it's less about like getting ripped and more about just making your body work better in the kitchen, right?
Exactly. And this whole idea of functional fitness is huge in our second source, physical fitness, the chef's strength.
Oh, yeah.
It takes it a step further, actually, saying that chefs are basically like culinary athletes.
I love that because when you think about it, they need that same stamina, focus, mental toughness.
For sure. And this article, it points out how squats, for example, are a fundamental move.
For everyone, really.
Well, yeah, but for chefs specifically, too, you're constantly bending down to lift those heavy pots, reaching for things, navigating that tight space.
Right.
So by doing squats regularly, you're not just building leg strength, you're working on balance, core stability, all that.
Okay, so we've got chef-specific exercises, chefs as athletes. Where does this kitchen workout article fit in?
This one's all about turning your kitchen into a workout space. It's full of bodyweight exercises you can do while you're waiting for things.
So you're like sneaking in fitness while you cook.
Exactly. It's genius. And bodyweight exercises are great because anyone can do them, no matter their fitness level.
Okay, give me an example. Like what kind of exercises?
Okay, say you're reaching up to grab a spice jar from a high shelf.
Happens all the time.
Perfect time to do a few calf raises.
Oh, I like that. Multitasking fitness. What else?
Or while you're preheating the oven, waiting for the water to boil, bang out some squats.
You're already bending down anyway, might as well, right?
Exactly. They even have cardio moves like butt kicks, high knees, even mountain climbers.
No way.
Yeah, you can get your heart rate up while you're waiting for that pasta water to boil.
This is blowing my mind.
Uh,
I always thought I had to like set aside specific workout time, but this is like fitting it in naturally.
That's the point. You're finding those pockets of time and using them strategically.
So instead of staring at the timer, I could be doing squats. Cool.
Exactly. You're being intentional with your movements, turning everyday stuff into fitness opportunities.
Okay, so kitchen workout is all about making fitness work on your time. But how does this all tie back to the chef as athlete idea?
Well, if you think about it, the kitchen is their arena.
I like that.
And these workouts, that's their training regimen.
So like, just like athletes train their bodies for specific things, chefs can train for the kitchen.
Exactly. They need strength, endurance, just like any athlete.
Okay, we've got the strength covered, but what about endurance? How do we work that in?
Those cardio bursts we talked about, the butt kicks, high knees, all that, they're mimicking the demands of a busy service, getting you ready for the real deal.
So it's less like, ugh, I got to work out, and more like a strategy to be better at what you already do.
Exactly. You're making fitness enjoyable, sustainable.
Okay, so we've got chef-specific exercises, chefs as athletes, and the brilliance of working out while you cook. Where does this third article, physical fitness, the chef's strength, take us? I feel like we've only just scratched the surface.
We have, and this next one goes even deeper. It's about the mental game. It connects physical fitness with things like mental clarity, focus, even resilience.
Oh, wow. I can already see how that'd be huge for chefs with all that pressure they're under.
Oh, it's essential. They need to be sharp, make quick decisions, handle the stress of a busy kitchen.
So it's like physical strength and mental toughness. They go hand in hand.
This article actually argues that regular exercise helps build those mental skills.
Really?
Yeah, there are studies that show it can boost cognitive function, improve your mood, reduce stress.
Wow, so it's like training your brain and your body at the same time.
And get this, the article compares a chef's physical strength to their recipes.
Interesting.
It says, just like you refine your techniques to make the perfect dish, you have to train your body to be strong and resilient.
I like that because it really highlights that fitness is an ongoing thing, not a one-time goal.
Exactly. It's about building a routine that keeps you going, both physically and mentally.
Makes sense. So if we think about our lives as our own kitchens, what are our demands physically and mentally? Something to think about.
Absolutely. And that's exactly where we'll pick up in the next part of our deep dive. We'll take all this chef knowledge and see how to apply it to our own lives, challenges, and all.
Sounds good. I can't wait.
Okay, so we're really starting to see how these chefs, they've got a unique approach to fitness.
Like they've figured out how to stay in shape in one of the most demanding work environments out there.
Right. And one thing that stood out to me in both those articles, the chef exercises and the physical fitness, was all that talk about preventing injuries.
Yeah, they both emphasize that a lot.
And it makes sense, right? With all that lifting, those repetitive movements, being on their feet for hours.
It's like they're putting their bodies through a marathon every day.
Exactly. And they actually compare a chef's physical strength to their knives.
Their knives.
Yeah, like just as a chef needs to keep their knives sharp and well-maintained so they don't slip and cause injuries, they have to do the same for their bodies.
Makes sense. I guess a dull knife is dangerous.
Exactly. And a weak body is more prone to strains and sprains and all sorts of things. That's where strength training comes in.
I knew you were going to say that.
But before you start picturing, bodybuilders and all that,
I'm not trying to get huge.
it's not about that at all. It's about building functional strength, the kind that helps you in your everyday life and prevents those injuries.
So like practical strength.
Precisely. And the good news is you don't need a fancy gym or tons of equipment to do it. You can use your own body weight, resistance bands, even stuff you find in the kitchen, like water bottles or bags of flour as weights.
Wait, so I could actually get a workout in while I'm making dinner?
Absolutely. Remember that kitchen workout article? It was all about that. You can use your counter for incline push-ups, a sturdy chair for tricep dips, even a bag of rice for bicep curls.
I'm telling you, I'm seeing my kitchen in a whole new light now.
It's like a hidden gym just waiting to be discovered.
Yeah.
And you can do these exercises in those little bits of time throughout the day while you're waiting for the water to boil, the oven to preheat.
Yeah, instead of just like standing there, I could be doing lunges or something.
Exactly. It's all about making those little moments count. It all adds up.
It's funny because that physical fitness article really emphasized consistency too.
Oh, it's essential. It's not about one big workout and then nothing for a week. It's got to be a regular thing.
They compared it to like honing your culinary skills. You don't become a master chef overnight.
Right. It takes practice, dedication.
And patience.
Exactly. And that's where the mental side of things comes in too. Sticking to a routine takes discipline, motivation.
The ability to push through when you just don't feel like it.
And that's where those mental benefits we talked about come in. Exercise not only makes your body stronger, it strengthens your mind too.
Like a 2-for-1 deal.
Exactly. The article actually refers to chefs as culinary athletes because they need that same mental and physical toughness to succeed.
Okay, so we've got strength training, consistency, mental benefits. What else can we take away from these articles?
Well, something that really stood out to me in the chef exercises one was the part about avoiding overexertion.
Oh, right. Don't push yourself too hard too soon.
Especially when you're just starting out.
They even had a disclaimer at the end telling people to talk to their doctor before they start a new workout program.
Always a good idea. Everyone's different, and what works for one person might not work for another.
It's like they're saying, hey, we're giving you some ideas, but ultimately you know your body best.
Exactly. Listen to your body and respect its limits. It's not about punishing yourself. It's about finding what works for you and sticking with it.
So we've talked about a lot. Mental toughness, preventing injuries, strength training, those mini workouts. What's next on the agenda for the last part?
Well, now that we've seen how chefs approach fitness, in part 3, we'll actually figure out how we can apply those lessons to our own lives, whatever they may be.
Okay, so we've explored how chefs stay fit in their crazy busy world.
And honestly, they've got some pretty brilliant strategies.
Yeah, like those kitchen workouts, the whole chef as athlete thing. Really eye-opening.
Definitely. It's all about adapting to your environment, right?
Yeah.
Making fitness work for you.
And that's what I wanted to focus on today. Like, how do we take all these chef secrets and actually use them in our own lives?
Right, because we all have different kitchens, so to speak.
Exactly. I mean, I'm not juggling hot pans and sharp knives all day.
But you've got your own set of demands, just like a chef does.
Totally. So where do we even start?
Well, the chef exercises article had a good point. It said to find exercises you actually enjoy.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Don't make it a chore.
Exactly. Because if you hate it, you're not going to do it.
You're right. Makes sense.
Yeah.
But how do you figure out what you enjoy?
You got to experiment. Try different things. See what clicks. That article even suggested things like yoga, Pilates, even just dancing to your favorite music.
I like that. It shouldn't feel like a punishment.
It's about finding that joy in movement.
So it's like being a chef in your own life, right? You find the ingredients, the techniques that work for you.
Exactly. And just like a chef wouldn't force themselves to use ingredients they hated.
You got to find what you like.
Exactly. Listen to your body. Be flexible. Adapt. It's all part of the process.
Okay, so big question. How do we take all these chef strategies and actually put them into practice?
Well, I think the first step is figuring out your kitchen, just like you said before. What are your demands? What are your challenges?
So for me, it's sitting at a desk all day. That's my hot stove, I guess.
And that comes with its own set of issues, like posture problems, lack of movement.
Totally.
Yeah.
So I need to find ways to combat that, right?
Exactly. Maybe you set a timer to stand up and stretch every hour. Maybe you take a walk during your lunch break.
Okay, that's doable.
And think about those kitchen workouts. They can work anywhere. Squats while the coffee's brewing, lunges while you're on a phone call.
I'm starting to get it.
It's about those small, consistent efforts.
Right, like every little bit counts.
That's the key. And it applies to everything: fitness, nutrition, even just like managing stress.
So no more all or nothing thinking.
Exactly. It's about finding what works for you and making it a part of your routine.
And celebrating those small victories along the way.
Oh, absolutely. Did you take the stairs instead of the elevator today? That's a win.
Squeeze in a few extra squats. Another win.
Those little things add up, you know?
They really do. It's like you start making small changes and then all of a sudden you're feeling better, you're moving better.
It's like a ripple effect.
It is. And it all starts with that first step.
So what's your first step going to be? What are you going to do differently tomorrow?
I think I'm going to set that timer to stand up every hour. And maybe try those calf raises while I brush my teeth.
There you go. See, you're already a chef in your own kitchen.
I guess I am. And that's it for this deep dive, everyone. Hopefully you've picked up some tips and tricks to create your own recipe for a healthier, happier life.
Bon appétit!